Hey, how's it going, YouTube? It's TAG97 again. Hope all are doing very well today. I apologize that last week I did not have a video for you, but this week I definitely do. We'll be reviewing New Frontier Armory's C-5 PDW 9mm. And also, guys, do not forget I have an Instagram as well. To go to that, go ahead down in the description down below. Find the social media links, find the one that says Instagram. Click that link and smash that follow button to my Instagram to get anything that's exclusively happening on Instagram that's never on the YouTube channel. Also want to thank my viewers, subscribers, and of course my Patreon donors. Without you guys' love and support to the YouTube channel, it will never be big as it is today. And I can never thank you enough, especially through the crisis that we're going through with the pandemic, with getting ammo, supplies, or just anything else. It's so hard to make this video content at this time, and I am doing my best, and thank you so much for sticking with me by my side and being loyal to the TAG97 family. I cannot thank you enough. Also want to thank the lender of today's firearm, which is Skip from Armory Tactical Solutions. His link to his Instagram is also down there below, and let's get started. Okay, so let's go over the educational part of this video, better know specifications. So that being said, I do need to go over a quick disclaimer that obviously you could tell right off the bat that there's some aftermarket stuff done to this firearm. So number one, and very easy to tell that Amateur Tactical Solution, or Skip, did a beautiful job Cerakoting this firearm. He used KG gun coat and he did a Cryptek design. Very beautiful, never surprised by Skip's artwork because he always performs very well and does outstanding jobs. Seriously, I love his work. He even did a couple of my personal owned firearms. And obviously this is his, so of course he's gonna make it look good, right? We also have the Magpul pop-up sights for front and rear. I personally recommend them because I use that on my SPR. We also used a red dot from Vortex. It is a Spark. Basic red dot, nothing too fancy, very easy to operate. So let's talk about some features real quick that this firearm comes with. So you have a M-lock rail for the bottom and the sides, so you're able to put something on there. Now keep in mind there are certain restrictions because this is considered a pistol. The same thing with putting a stock or arm brace on this pistol. If you're going to put a stock, you need to do a tack stamp and an arm brace. I don't want to recommend any at this time because the ATF is cracking down on some arm braces, and I don't want to recommend anything that could be banned in the future. So just do your research, make sure that you're able to do that, and hopefully when you see this video it's not too late. Also, you have the ability to have a quick detach sling in the front and the back. Personally, I would run maybe a single point, 2-point if you really want to, but it's such a small firearm. And let's talk about the overall length or size of this firearm. So I did not see anything on the website saying the overall size, but I had my own measurement tape. I measured from the back to the front, and it said roughly 16 inches overall length, and that barrel length is going to be leaving you at 5. Okay, so let's get into the interesting part of the video. Let's talk about the magazines that come with this firearm, the ammo we use in today's video, and the best recommended grain to be using with most 9mm. So right off the bat, I need to say another disclaimer. I apologize, but my buddy said that when he purchased his firearm, it came with one KCI magazine, 30 rounder, of course, for MP5. But I checked on New Frontier's website; it says it doesn't come with any magazines. So I don't know which one to really believe, but I'm going off the website to play it safe and saying that you do not get a magazine with this firearm. So because we're talking about the magazines, I'm going to extract that magazine, put the firearm to the side. It's not necessary to talk about at this time. So in today's video, you use the ETS magazines for MP5s. What's really cool about these magazines is that it gives you the ability to shave down some material and make it either tighter or looser inside your firearm, depending on what platform it is, but it has to take MP5 magazines, of course. And I really like these magazines. They're really nice. And obviously it gives you a round counter because you can actually see the ammunition. I'm going to put this magazine to the side since we're going to talk about the ammo we use in today's video, which is Federal, not Winchester this time. And I'll show you a picture real quick. So we use Federal 124 grain full metal jackets, very recommended by me. Federal is my second choice ammunition to be using with pistols, rifles, doesn't really matter. I actually like Federal too, but I always prefer Winchester since Winchester has never failed me. And the best recommended grain to be using with most 9mm is sticking in between 115 grain to 147 grain full metal jackets for this type of platform of a pistol. Okay, so now it's time for my favorite part of the video, trigger poundage test. So with that being said, prior to getting to this part of the video, I made sure that the firearm was clear, so there's nothing inside the chamber that we need to worry about. and let's put the firearm on fire and find that sweet spot on the trigger to get that estimation. Now, prior to doing that, I'm going to show you that this is 0, so no trickery is going on. I'm going to find a sweet spot on that trigger, and I'm going to start pulling. Now, when I checked Google and a couple other websites, see if I can find a estimation before we did this, I could not. So this is all new to me. Okay, so that time I got slightly over 7. Now, I don't know if that's the correct estimation, and I don't feel comfortable for that, so I'm going to do one more test just to make sure that I'm getting an accurate estimation. I'm going to 0 this one more time, and I'm going to find that sweet spot on the trigger, and I'm going to pull yet again until I hear that distinct click that we all know, and I should be hearing it very soon. There it is. Oh, that time I got exactly 7, so I doubt Skip did anything to the trigger itself. So out of the factory, from what my trigger poundage test tool is saying, is that it's roughly a 7-pound trigger. Now keep in mind that that trigger poundage test tool is just an estimation. It's not going to get 100% accuracy, but to roughly let you know where that trigger is laying at. Okay, so let's wrap up these specifications with the weight of this firearm and the MSRP. So with that being said, let's get into that weight. So the firearm by itself out of the box, it says on the New Frontier website that this is going to be weighing at 3.7 pounds or conversion ounces, which is 59.2. And with the added attachments and aftermarket stuff done to this firearm, I don't know if the KG Gun Co. would add any weight, but because it's different material being added on, I'm going to guess that may add some weight. Not by much, but maybe just a little. And I took it to my scale, and it says it's roughly 4.8 pounds after everything done to this. So even with all that extra stuff that's on this firearm, it's still pretty light if you ask me. And of course, if you add any other attachments, it's going to add more weight to it, so just keep that in mind. And obviously that's nothing within the magazine. And let's get into everyone's least favorite subject, the MSRP. I'm not going to get too personal with the MSRP because I kind of disagree with it. I think you're a little bit overpaying for something that you're not getting much for. Keep in mind, you don't get all these fancy attachments or cool design or magazines apparently. So the MSRP is looking at to be $841 roughly. Then obviously tax and shipping if you're going to an FFL. So there's a lot that I wish it would come with for that kind of price, but that's just personal preference. But that's the price you're going to be looking at paying for this, is roughly $900 or more for this firearm. Okay, so since I'm done going over the specifications, let's talk about how I personally feel about this firearm. Now, anytime I do a firearm or product review on this channel, it's not that I'm trying to bash a company when I talk about the negativity. It's just my own personal feeling, and everyone has their own opinion, so don't get upset about it. Just take it with a grain of salt if you don't agree. But it's always nice to hear other sides from other YouTubers or just other people, because don't forget, guys, I'm just a normal person too. I'm just behind a camera. That's the only difference. So with that being said, I strongly disagree with the MSRP of this firearm. I am not a big fan of it because the fact that you're not getting much with it. Like I said, on the website, it says that you don't get any magazines. My buddy did say it did come with one KCI magazine. I don't know how true that is, but I'm just going to go off what it says on the website that you don't. And you're not getting really much with that kind of money. I wish you came with an arm brace of some sort, maybe a better quality grip, because I'm not going to lie, the grip feels kind of cheesy. I do like the stippling on it though. It's nice and grippy, but other than that, the quality of the grip feels kind of cheesy if you ask me. I feel like they could have chose a better quality grip. So let's get into the positivity. I really love this barrel cover. It's really nice. It's M-LOK, of course, and I love M-LOK. Very simple design. If you've ever shot an AR platform, your selector switch is in the same spot, and so is your mag release, so it's easy to adapt in that way. The trigger's really nice and curved, so I feel like you're getting a nice pressure when you push on it. I don't know how to explain it. It just feels really comfortable in the finger. And it's just very compact, and I feel like you can do a couple of modifications to this to make this perform way better. Now, I did watch another YouTuber, and he said that this firearm can handle about 400 rounds without cleaning, and it starts having cycling issues. Now, because of the pandemic, I cannot cycle about 500 rounds without caring about it because of how much 9mm has gone up, unfortunately. But from my personal experience, I handled it just fine, just had to lube it up, and it was, continue firing pretty decently. I'm not going to tell how much ammo we shot in today's video, but it was not more than 200 rounds. So it performed fine for what it is. And to be honest, to me, this is a small compact gun to either have in your backpack or car. Now, when I say that, I'm not recommending you do that because every state is different with its laws and regulations, but I say that's a good ideal if there's no laws against any of that. So in my opinion, it's really going to come down to you if you really want this firearm. To me, it gets the job done for whatever you really need. Okay, so since I am done talking about how I feel about this firearm, let's get into everyone's favorite part of the video, shooting compilation. If you did skip to get to this part, I always recommend you go back to learn the specifications or hear my own opinion about this before you make that purchase, or you just want to watch me for entertainment. Whatever floats your boat, just do me a solid hitting that like button and subscribing, because I always love getting that notification pop up on my phone saying you guys just subscribed. And I welcome you to the TAG97 family with open arms. So enough of that being said, I don't want to delay you guys anymore for seeing that shooting comp, and I really hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you when you're done. So as you see, new Frontier Armory's C-5 PDW is an awesome little pistol, chambered in 9mm. I had fun shooting it. It got the job done, what I asked it to do, and it's very compact. I really enjoyed shooting it because how small it was. It's very cool. I can maneuver around a lot more easier than most firearms. So it's recommended by me. Not highly recommended, but it's recommended and TAG97 approved. I had fun shooting it. It's a very cool design. I do want to show you the grouping real quick. So at 15 yards, to the best of my ability, I took 5 shots. Keep in mind, I am not looking to hit the bullseye, even though that's where I'm aiming. POI shift can always happen because a different shooter. I'm not the one that zeroed this red dot. My buddy was, so if he incorrectly zeroed it or it's just different cheek placement, it always comes down to different shooters. But roughly anyone should be able to pick up anyone else's red dot and shoot it. It's just going to be just a slight POI shift because you're not the person that zeroed it. Other than that, I got nothing more to say. It's a decent AR MP5 style pistol and it gets the job done. If you did like this video, make sure you do me a solid, hit that like button, and of course subscribe because that's always highly appreciated. I got nothing more for y'all. I love y'all. Stay safe, stay healthy. I'll catch you next time, and thank you so much for watching.